Okay, so I hope everybody can hear me. I hope we are all set now.
Yes, sir.
All right. So what are we doing today? Like I said, we don't have much today because I just have to set up this class. I'm not that strong, but I just want to set up this class so that at least we'll move forward. So that tomorrow we will not have much. We will not have much to do tomorrow. We just have to. So our class has later be scheduled from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Just 2 hours because we've done much. So tomorrow we'll be able to finish the class and we'll also try and see how we can help each other. So today, even this class might not last long, but to do what we used to do, like how we uh, normally start the class. So we are going to do small chapter review and we try and see what we can do about it. So which chapter are we reviewing today? We want to review chapter 5, which is on practice management. So, what is practice management and in which aspect, at what point practice management is important for the firm? So, that is what we are going to discuss about for the first 30 minutes. Then the other part we use it to solve the question. So, hopefully by 6:30 at most we should be done with this class. So please come. Tell me if you can hear me, everybody. I hope the link is not. Okay, so let us proceed. I said practice management. So who can tell us here, since this is not the first time you are hearing about practice management, which otherwise known as quality control. So what is practice management? Who can help us out? Or who can just give us general overview of practice management and the on the aspect of quality control? Oh yeah, who can help us out? Okay, Chidima, please have the floor. Good evening.
Good
Emmanuel
evening.
Bossede, please mute your mic. Mute your mic. Eh? Okay,
Good,
Chidima, please go on.
good evening, sir.
Good
Okay,
evening, ma'am.
according to international standard of auditing, practice management involves all the activities, professional activities, and due care put in place by audit firm or practitioner in order to carry out its audit work effectively, so as to reduce auditors' liability and risk of giving incorrect opinion. It
Okay,
involves quality control for the firm, which is ISQ C1 and quality control
It is
for.
now ISQM1, Madam Chidima. I told us yesterday,
Oh, sorry, sir.
not ISQC1 anymore.
ISQM1 for audit firm and ASA 220 for practitioner. Thank you, sir.
So, what are the things you are expected to know under as stipulated by ISQM1 as
Uh,
regards to quality control by the firm?
okay, it involves human resources, um sir, let me calm down. Involves human
Okay,
resources,
so
monitoring.
okay, no problem. Thank you, Chidima. You tried. Okay, so Esther, please, you have the floor. Esther, please, you have the floor. Please don't waste our time. We have a lot to cover. Esther, please, you have the floor. Don't waste our time. Oh. We have a lot to cover. Okay, she's not responding. Mr. Paul, please, you have the floor. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. So in
Good
respect
evening.
of the things we expected to know about practice management under ISQM1, we have several elements which include, first of all, the governance and leadership within the firm, as it makes reference to the robustness of our activities as an audit firm. We also have the issue of engagement performance, how our engagements which we participate in are being performed. We have the issue of accepting and continuing engagements or client relationships, sir. We also have the issue of how we recruit personnel in terms of resources. We also have the issue of how we communicate in terms of our relationship, our communication within, will I use the word departments within the firm, sir? Then how we assess the risk assessment process of our firm. What are the levels? What are the steps? What are the safeguards, sir? Then finally, how we monitor the review, how we monitor the quality management review, and how we treat issues that may have been brought up as a result of the monitoring that require remediation. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Paul. That's that is okay. So let's hear from Chidima. Chiamaka, rather. Chiamaka, good evening.
Oh, okay, sir. So he actually said what I wanted to say, but there's something else though. One of the elements, sorry, of ISQM1, sorry, is documentation, and there should be proper documentation from like the beginning to like the end. Every aspect should be documented. Yes, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, so in everything we said, there is a lot that I actually understand that we know what we are saying, but okay, let's hear from Mr. Udwak and see so that before we make final comment.
Good evening, sir. In respect to what Mr. Paul has already said, according to IAS QM1, he left over ethical requirement, which is one of the requirement that an audit firm need to put in place in order to have a successful. Hello. In order to
Please
have
go
a
ahead,
successful,
sir.
in order to have a successful audit, a successful audit assessment or audit firm or audit organization. That is one thing that he left over.
Okay. All right. So what we are saying finally is that we, from our explanation, I quite understand that everybody will know what we want to say. But the major thing we left out there is that you fail to recognize that this ISQC ISQM1 rather, it is solely centered on the audit firm. That is, that it is the audit firm that have the utmost responsibility to carry out the following items or the following essential things we all have been mentioning. But deep down in our explanation, we fail to acknowledge that we are only making reference to ISQM1. But ISQM1, it is the standard that govern the audit firm to set up some important elements within the audit firm to help them have proper or good quality control to put together in every audit engagement to ensure that it helps them to reduce the risk of expressing incorrect opinion, then reduce audit faults, and also reduce auditors' liability, as the case may be. So we fail to acknowledge that this ISQM1, it is standard sets or what they expect audit firm to do to ensure that it helps them to reduce the risk of expressing correct opinion. So, however, after saying all those small preamble, you now said, in accordance with ISQM1, the following are the fundamental or essential practice or quality controls that audit firm must put together in order to ensure, in order to help them reduce the risk of expressing incorrect audit opinion and thereby reduce auditors' liability. You now start to mention. Number one, you now say, number one is what is leadership responsibility for quality. You now start to explain that in accordance with ISQM1, the leadership responsibility for ensuring good quality rests solely on the shoulder of the what of the leadership or the people governs what the audit firm. So that is the leader, the principal partner, and the what and the other managing board are essentially responsible for ensuring what good quality control when carrying out what audit tasks in accordance with ISQM1. I hope that one is taken. Do we understand? So I know we know what we are saying, but we fail to acknowledge that it is the responsibility of the management to set out all these things we explain. Then after setting this thing out, they also must ensure that they are properly being followed. All these essential this thing they set out, they must also ensure that all these things are being followed. So by following this thing, it's going to help them to reduce the risk of expressing incorrect audit opinion in accordance with international standard of quality management. I hope that one is taken. Can we proceed, please? Okay, so the second one, there is ethical requirement. What is ethical requirement? That is in accordance also with ISQM1. That is it is the responsibility of the audit firm to establish what policies and procedure to provide assurance that the firm complies with all ethical requirements while discharging their professional responsibility. So the firm is expected to communicate what the independent requirements of every staff or the independent requirement and ethical code of conduct that need to be followed by the practitioner while discharging their professional responsibility. That is that about ethical requirements. So everything you will be saying under this, you try and be making reference to ISQM1. So that is that about ethical requirement. Do we understand, everybody? Can I proceed, please? Yeah, Alpha. Yeah, I'm currently in class now. Okay, so please, sorry about that. Can we proceed, please? So that about the second essential requirement, that is ethical requirement. So second, the third one, or as the case may be, is acceptance and continuous engagement. So although, and I also uh, ISQM1 stipulate, because it is their responsibility, that ISQM1 also require audit firm what to take up a job. That is the responsibility of every audit firm to take up a job or to take up an engagement, and also continue an engagement that he has competence and capacity to and resources to what to start and finish the engagement. That is, it is the responsibility of the what of the firm to put in every necessary element to ensure that the management or the firm have the capacity and capability to start and finish every audit engagement. You cannot be a small size audit firm and go and take a multinational firm engagement. There is going to be issue. So that is what this one is telling us. So by ensuring that you have capacity and capability, the resources and everything to start and continue every engagement, it will go a long way to help the organization to what to help them reduce the risk of expressing incorrect opinion. That is that about the acceptance and continuous engagement as stipulated by ISQF1 for quality control for the what for the audit firm. Can I proceed, please, everybody? Can I proceed, everybody? Can we proceed, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Then
sir.
again,
Yes, sir.
the next one we have documentation. All these things we have mentioned, they are the elements that must to put together by the audit firm to ensure good quality control in accordance with international standard on quality management. So the third one there is documentation. In accordance with ISQM1, it is also the responsibility and a responsibility of the audit firm, or require the audit firm to document what all relevant data of its client in safe custody. You document, you have good proper working paper to document your audit work, and also document the information of your client, and keep in a safe place. That is in accordance with ISQM1. That is, it is the responsibility of the firm to document all relevant information of its client and put it in a safe custody, and also have a good proper working paper for what for the audit engagement, for what for easy reference. So by doing this, it's going to help the auditor to what to express to reduce the risk of expressing incorrect opinion by gathering what substantial and what and appropriate audit evidence linked together with what with good working paper, and also for easy reference to what to future documentation. That is what documentation is all about in accordance with ISQM1 in relation to what quality control for the fair. Can we proceed, please? Is it going well?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
The next one is human resources. Human resources. So, in accordance with international standard on quality management, it requires every auditor to ensure that they have sufficient personnel. They hire sufficient and they have sufficient. The time between they hire sufficient and also have sufficient what? Sufficient personnel with required competence, capability, and commitment to ethical principle to meet what the quality control objective of the firm, and that for that of individual to carry out a task. I'll say it again. In accordance with international standard on quality management, it requires every audit firm to what? To hire sufficient personnel. You call for what? For competence, capability, and commitment to what? To ethical principle. They must also committed to ethical principle to meet the quality control objective of what? Of the firm, and that of what? And that of individual when carry out their professional responsibility. So human resources is also very, very important. And by doing that, it's going to help the audit firm in different way by help to reduce the risk of expressing incorrect opinion. Is it going well? Can we go on, please? Can we go on? Okay. So the next one is engagement
Yes, sir.
performance. This engagement performance is more or less
Yes,
like
sir.
ability of any audit firm to supervise and direct and guide what? Every staff on its own assigned responsibility. I will say it again. In accordance with international standard of quality management, one, the responsibility of, or it is expected that each audit firm must what? Must ensure that they have consistent quality performance review of its what? Of its engagement. They have the responsibility to supervise, and also what? By assigning the most competent staff to what? To every high risk engagement. By doing that, it's going to help to reduce the risk of expressing incorrect, or of the issues there is that they hello, can you hear me?
We're not hearing
Yes,
you before, sir.
Can you hear me?
now we can, sir. We can hear you now, but before we could not.
Okay. Let's mute our mic, everybody. Let's mute our mic. Jacinta, please mute your mic. Okay, I'll mute everybody then. So what we are saying in essence, at the point that you couldn't hear me, I was trying to explain the meaning of engagement performance. Engagement performance in line with international standard on quality management, which is the responsibility of the audit firm and people charged with governance of the audit firm to ensure that they put in proper way of supervising and supervising the assigned responsibility given to every team or every individual in every audit engagement. So that it is the responsibility of the management and people charged with governance to supervise and direct every member of staff on every engagement, and also ensure that they put the right and competent staff to on a high risk assessment section on every engagement to help reduce the risk of expressing incorrect audit opinion and also reduce the audit faults. So what we are saying in essence is that the responsibility also extend to people charged with governance of the organization to make sure that they continually supervise, direct their member of staff to check the work performance and everything, to track their work performance, the work they have done so far. By doing that, it also shadowed with the responsibility of assigning a very competent and capable staff uh, to high risk assessment section of every audit engagement. So by doing that, it's going to help the organization to set up good standard quality control and also help to reduce risk of expressing incorrect audit opinion. That is that about engagement documentation. Can we proceed, please? Can we proceed, please? So, lastly, monitoring of quality control procedure, which is that last one. This one is just talking about that in accordance with international standard of on quality management one, it's expect or it's organization, I mean audit firm and people charged with the governance of the organization are expected, or they are charged with the responsibility of ensuring that every audit engagement is I go through proper review, proper or standard review on all every engagement being partaken by the what by audit firm. By doing this continual review of our audit job, you know, the question we solved yesterday, one of the issues they also uh, uh, faced during the case study was that the company uh, the company did not review the work of their subordinates, or maybe they later review after the audit opinion has been uh, submitted, which is wrong. So this aspect is now telling us that it's the responsibility of ensuring that uh, review are done on every audit engagement to ensure that everything are intact and they did not do what they are not supposed to do on every engagement. By doing all this thing, by doing proper review on every audit working paper, audit documentation, and the like, the ethical requirements, they make sure that they review every step of every audit engagement. So by doing that, it's going to help the organization to reduce the risk of expressing correct opinion. What I'm saying in essence is that the aspects talk about review, that the responsibility of management is charge of reviewing what every audit engagement being done by that organization, to review it proper review of our audit documentation, the working paper and the like. So by doing this, if there is any issue or any error, it will be corrected. And by doing that, it's going to help the organization to reduce the risk of expressing incorrect audit opinion. That is that about ISQF1 in accordance with quality control with for the firm. So the other part, which is quality control for individual, which is covered by ISA 220, we'll deal with it tomorrow morning before we start the solving of the last class tomorrow. So that's where we are going to stop for the chapter review for that. Then before we move to the question we have at hand. Can we proceed, please, everybody? Do we have any question before we proceed? Do we have any question? All right. So the Juliet, please, you have the floor. Good evening. Please, quickly, you have the floor.
Please, that was a mistake.
Okay. All right. So let us proceed then. Like I promised, this class, I want it to be as fast as possible so that I can also rest. Okay, so this is the question we want to solve today. And this question is all about and cyber security kind of related to IT, which is covered in I think in chapter 7 or so. It relate to IT and all those cards and all these things that we talked about. Talks about cyber security, the data privacy, kind of linked to chapter 15 a little bit. But nevertheless, we, like I said, that the tune of the scenario will guide the tune of our answer. So we cannot do otherwise. We are going to write on based on what the scenario asks us to write, the requirement of the scenario, and by using the tips very well, understanding the given scenario, which is our ability to reinterpret the question, regurgitate it, and also redirect it so that we have a standard and comprehensive understanding about what the scenario is talking about. Then we can now translate it in writing to on the requirements. So generally, the tune of the case of the scenario determine the tune of our answer. So let's get that one correctly and let's put it at the back of our mind. So this is the question we shall be examining today. So in the next 30-40 minutes, we'll try and see what we can do about it and we'll call it a day. Today is Friday. Some people are even on their way to TGIF like this, that as soon as the class ended, TGIF here I come. So that we can go and rest. So let's go. This is the question. So please, everybody, let us try and be following this class. So like I said, once you understand this scenario, what the scenario is talking about, we are definitely going to see TGIF or no TGIF. People that will pass will still pass. So yes, so if you have the time, even though you cannot go and collapse and break down. I have a friend that during this exam period, like that is where he used to fall sick. Yes, he used to fall sick because of the exam tension and everything. Me, I will sleep. Even when I was in school, sef, I don't wake up and read in the night. Oh, that I will now wake up. I will sleep since morning. I will not say I wake up by 2. Like, but I can read from 9 till that 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. But I will not say let me sleep small and I wake up by 1 or 2 and read. Like it's not going to be possible. So, but everybody have their own way of reading and assimilating, sha. But but in all honesty, you also need to give your brain rest. I have someone here. He called me that day that sir. It seems like everything that he has read, he has forgotten. I said it used to happen like that. It will be like everything you have read, you've forgotten it. But when you now see yourself in the exam hall, you now know that oh, this thing actually hides somewhere. But that is by the way. So I'm not saying you should not you should not read, but try also relax your brain small, give yourself give your brain rest if you can. If you like a drink, you can take small drink. If you know that it's gist, like woman, engage in gist. If you know that, just go to a cool spot, relax yourself with a bottle of beer. So at least just to let your brain be settled. Because at some point you now get to the exam or everything you read like this will just disappear. It has happened to me when I was writing tasks and skills. I got to the exam or everything vanished. Like 1 hour, I couldn't write anything. So it was when I later calmed down, I was not remembering small. But thank God I later passed, even though I think I had 58 or so. So because I know that the thing just because I that was my first attempt and I was just stressing my brain then. But nevertheless, just relax your brain. If to sleep, you can sleep. Some everybody have their way of relaxing their brain. But what I'm just trying to say in the essence that don't over kill yourself, don't over labor the brain. You say I want to read, then you after next week. So just let us rest our brain very well so that we'll be able to come out fresh. Yes, Paul say one bottle. One bottle. I don't. It's not one bottle for me. It's wine. It's wine. I will collect wine. I have some people promising me wine like this. Some people. So what can I hear? Are they calling this one? I mean, let's start. Some people are saying can I? I'm sure. Some people are smoker here. Kanaba, it is not ethical consideration, I beg. So let us go. Well, that's by the way, just to shake the tension away. So all work without play, make all of us dull person. So that's by the way. I just try to put in that joke so that. But please don't carry Kana to the exam hall. Oh. You don't pass the that. You that you used to you like Kana. Okay, that's by the way. So let's start the question. So, like I said, that the tune of our of the scenario determine the tune of our answer. And in most of the question we've been solving, the issues has been embedded in the case in the passage. So sometimes they can tell us to analyze the issue and provide solution, but in every way they want to bring it, the most important thing is to understand the given scenario very well. And by that, we need to also try and we interpret as we are reading, we will try and we interpret in our local language. That's what I said yesterday. As you are reading, try and be translating it in your local language. If it is Yoruba, try and be interpret it in Yoruba. If it is Igbo, try. If it is Hausa, yes. So try and, so that by that you understand the deep meaning of the scenario and you'll be able to understand what you are going to write on it. So let us go. Tech Life Retail Limited is a fast-growing e-commerce company in Nigeria, specializing in sales of consumer electronics. The company operates fully digital platform with online payment integration, automated inventory management, customer analytics, and CRM system. TechLife has recently undergone a significant digital transformation, integrating robotic process automation (RPA) in their financial reporting process and using algorithms to set dynamic pricing on its platform. Like I used to do, this first scenario, this first paragraph is telling us that Tech Life Retail Limited, they are uh, they are companies that specialize in sales of consumer electronics, but all their transaction is through online transaction, that is e-commerce, the buying and selling of goods and services online without the buyer and the seller have to see themselves or have to come to physical uh, uh, contact with each other. So they deal with sales of consumer electronics, but it is fully digital, that is, it is online. So, and their way of payment is through online payment integration, automated inventory management, and they also have customer analytics and also CRM system. Instead, they use robotic process automation in their financial reporting and use of algorithms to set dynamic pricing on its platform. So it is algorithm system that they use to set price on all their products, but their transaction is what fully digital. It is online. Do we get that first paragraph correctly, everybody? Can we proceed, please? Okay. So the now said the company engaged opera and associate chartered accountant. So in this case, we are opera and associate chartered accountant to perform an audit for the year ended 31st December 2024. The now said during the audit, the team, which is we, encountered several IT-related issues. So that second paragraph is telling us that Tech Life Retail Limited now engage us as their statutory audit to perform e-commerce audit what for them as at 31st December 2024. So during our audit review, we, the audit team of Papa and Associates, on auditing Tech Life Retail Limited account, will find out the following IT-related issue. So, can we proceed now, everybody? Can we proceed now? All right. What is issue number one? Issue number one is telling us that cyber security control. You know, they said that we are the audit team that now, during our review, this is what we encounter during the review. One, cyber security control. The company experienced a minor data breach in October 2024. Minor data what? Breach in October 2024. Though no major customer data was lost, no major customer, meaning that there is small breach in customer data, but no major customer data was lost. Auditors are concerned about the adequacy of cyber security, meaning that in the question they will ask us, what is cyber security. I know they will definitely ask us what is cyber security. Two, algorithm review. They said, they said they use algorithm system for their dynamic pricing, right? In the question. So the algorithm review. Auditor found that the pricing algorithms lack a documented control framework. There were inconsistencies in pricing during promotional period. They said the algorithm review system they are using, it lack what? Documented control framework. That is, there is inconsistencies in pricing during promotional period. That is, when they are doing sales promotion for their customer, the price is always consistent. That is the problem that is allocated with that algorithm review that they are using for their pricing system. That one, do we understand, everybody? Can we proceed? Can we proceed, please? Okay. See, he said use of RPA, that is robotic processing automated. Tech Life are deployed both for bank reconciliation and revenue posting. However, change logs and exception reporting for both were not adequately maintained. They said they use robotic processing automated. So that robotic processing automated, they now use both. There's one aspect that is called both. That both, they use it for bank reconciliation and revenue posting. However, this both that they are using for bank reconciliation and revenue posting, it's change logs. That is, people that want to post, it change their login details, and exception report for both were not adequately maintained. For login detail of the staff to post, and also exception for reporting, that is small error that is allocated with maybe e-commerce or the buying and selling of goods online, we are not what adequately maintained using that RPA on both for bank calculation and revenue posting. Can we proceed, please? Then lastly, data privacy compliance. They said the auditor noted that Tech Life collects and stores customer data, but has no documented data prevention policy. They saw data of their customer, but they have no data documented protection policy in line with Nigeria Data Protection Regulation and the NDPR. So I'm sure that they are going to tell us to analyze the issue on this four, yes, on these four issue we encounter during the review of Tech Life Retail Limited. So I'm sure by now everybody will understood perfectly the uh, the tune of the what of the scenario. I'm sure we understand perfectly the tune of the scenario. Everybody, can we proceed, please? Okay, now. So what's now the requirement? Let's check the requirement. Let's check the requirement. Requirement one says that what is the role of cybersecurity in audit engagement, and how should audit team respond to data breach experienced by Tech Life Retail Limited? Question one. So who can tell us? Who can help us out? What is the role of cybersecurity in audit engagement, and how should the audit team respond to the data breach experienced by Tech Life Retail Limited? Who can tell us? Mr. Paul, you have the floor. Good evening once again. Mr. Paul, you have the floor, please. Go on.
Good evening, sir. Sorry, I didn't even know the mic was turned off. Sorry, sir. So for the first question, I think we could all agree that when it comes to cybersecurity, the major thing, that primary objective of having cybersecurity controls is to protect the integrity of the data that has been stored.
Okay.
So in the terms of these audit engagements, sir, if you now match it with audit engagements, cybersecurity, the role of cybersecurity is to ensure that in audit engagements is to ensure that the data that has been stored has integrity. There's integrity in the data that has been stored.
Okay. Yes. I know you understand what you're trying to say, but in another case, I think it is important for you to explain the meaning of cybersecurity in audit, first of all, before the importance.
Okay,
it's
sir.
better like that. So, but here they said, what is the role of cybersecurity in audit engagement? That is, they are telling us that what is the role of cybersecurity in every audit engagement. That is, they are telling us that you as an auditor, what are the things you need to check to ensure, this cybersecurity, it is the company that puts in place the cybersecurity. You are just there to ensure that, this thing that you put in place, is it going well the way you're supposed to do it? I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Paul. So
We should
it is
define it
important
well.
that, yes, meaning of cybersecurity. So what they are now telling us, that how should the audit team respond? That they are trying to tell you that what are the things, you auditor, what are the things you need to check? You need to check for when there is data security breach. Do you understand? You know that they said they experienced data breach in October 2024. Do you remember in the scenario?
Yes, sir.
So I have given you the clue, so you can put it together and let us hear your opinion again. Or should we give you time for you to digest it so that we'll call another person? Nobody is even raising their hand. It's only you.
Yes, sir. Please, let me read it. Let me go through it again.
Let me call Suleyat, my friend. Suleyat, you have the floor. I want to call you personally. Where is Aisha? Sir? Aisha is not on this call.
I'm on the
I have
call.
Aisha, get ready. So let's hear from Suleyat first.
Okay. Well, all right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let me just follow. Well, I don't really have like an idea, but I think someone has from the chat box. I will just try and like bottle it up. Like cyber security in audit engagement. It actually ensures confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data information. Yeah, am I on track?
Go on, ma.
You said that's the question you asked. What's the rule? And I've been able to explain the rule.
I said if you have to answer this question in the exam, and they said what is the role of cyber security audit? First of all, you need to give them the meaning of cyber security in audit.
Okay, yeah, which I've
First
done.
of all,
Yes. Then okay, the role.
no, you give us the rule. You did not give us the definition.
Okay, the definition I'm saying it ensures in cybersecurity in audit engagement ensures confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data
That is
and
important.
information.
That is important of cyber security in audit. You have not given us the definition.
Ah,
Eh, what you are saying it can be linked to importance of cyber security or the role of cyber security in audit. So what is cyber security, Gogo? Well, Leah, tell me just
Hello,
you are
sir.
not trying to digest it. Hold on, I will call you. Hold on. So, Kemi, please, you have the floor, please.
Okay, sir. Let's say that cybersecurity is a system or a mayor laying down to guide the computer or servers to avoid data. I mean, to protect data or information. So from there, we expatiate the definition. But
Yes,
I know it's a system or
yes,
a mayor.
I know. But you are not talking like a professional. You are talking like a maybe ordinary. That's why you are here now. We are all professional accountants. What you are saying, you are just giving me, you are not trying to instill confidence that, oh, you actually know, or this is the way I'm going to put it like this. I hope you understand. I know you have the idea of what you are saying. So, in order not to waste much of our time, let's hear from Mr. Dolo.
Okay, good evening, sir. When we
Good
talk
evening,
of
man.
cybersecurity, we are actually talking of practices put in place by an entity to ensure that their staff are properly informed and to safeguard them from both insider threats and external threats also. So the role of cybersecurity in auditing, it assists to safeguard data information protected, and it also inform the audit team, make them aware of practices and actions they can carry out which may endanger both the audit firm and also their clients, because a mistake from a staff can cause the full organization, whereby the scammers can have access to data from the entity also. So one of the roles is to protect data of third party. Another role of cybersecurity is to ensure that the staff are properly enlightened as to the do and don't when it comes to cyber, and to know the different cyber crimes and know how to avoid them. Thank you, sir.
So, everybody, Dorcas, please, quickly. Can anybody hear? It's not my network. Hello? Please, can you hear me? Everybody.
Okay, you're back now. You're cracking before, but you're back
Yes,
now.
I hear
Okay.
you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, Dorcas, please, quickly. You have the floor, please.
Okay.
Let's quickly hear you.
Cyber security, from my own understanding, is a system or measure put in place by an organization to safeguard their data from unauthorized personnel.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so not like maybe I'm doing partial. So let's hear from Deborah, even though she refused to put down her hand. Deborah, please, you have the floor.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, go on, please.
All right. So, to my own understanding, cybersecurity is the process of protecting your computers and all the data on it from virus and damage. Then, for the role of cybersecurity in auditing, I feel like cybersecurity in auditing, it helps auditors to evaluate the IT controls of the organization or of the clients before they engage into the audit, and it helps them to understand the business environment in which they are going to, and they can actually is a form of them like I mean like a leverage, should I say, that they can use to assess the material misstatement risks of the organization, sir. Thank you.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair. That's fair, Deborah. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for your contribution. So, like I said, I need to commend everybody. I think English in Yoruba. So, for those of us that don't understand Yoruba, it means that you are showcasing my strength. That all this shout and this thing, I'm not wasting my time. So, however, to shaping our this thing. So, I think cyber security, we are not getting it very well, although some people try. So, however, cyber security in audit refers to the process and procedure used to evaluate and assess. You know, the question is cyber security in audit engagement. So everything that everybody has been saying, we're only defining cyber security. We are not linking it to audit. But cyber security in auditing is a process and procedure that is used to what? To evaluate and assess the security controls, the system, and data of an organization to ensure that they are protected against what? Cyber threat and data breach. I will say it again. I said it is the process and what? And procedure used to evaluate what? Used to evaluate and assess the security control, the system, and data of what? Of an organization to ensure that they are protected against cyber threat and data breach. That is cyber security in audit. Do we understand, everybody? Can we proceed, please? So now to now go back to the question. You now said, however, cyber security play, you know, by that, however, you are now going to the question they ask you, which is the rule. You cannot say, however, cyber security play an important, so like I saw someone that dropped the answer like it ensure integrity and confidentiality, yes. So you know, after you give the definition, that's why, however, cyber security play a vital role in audit engagement as it ensure what? It helps to ensure integrity and confidentiality in what? In financial data. Then that is that. In answer, furthermore, the audit team should what? Should respond in the following way. You know, they ask that what should the audit team that how should the audit team respond to data breach experienced by Tech Life Retail Limited. You know, after that, you now said, however, or furthermore, the following are the way the auditor will respond to data breach experienced by Tech Life Retail Limited. You now start. One, to evaluate all those things you are not saying. to assess and evaluate risk of material misstatement is that's one of the things that the auditor will do. To also consider whether the breach have material impact on the financial data or the audit as a whole. That's another thing that the auditor, so many things are among other things that the auditor can do. So, but I believe that's special way to structure the answer to go along with the requirements they ask us. Do we understand, everybody? Can we proceed? Hello, can we proceed, please?
Yes, sir, you can.
Hello, sir.
Okay, Mr. Olatunji.
Yes, sir. Sorry, please. I
Okay.
understood what you explained, but in trying to talk about the role, I think I didn't get it very well, sir.
Now, the role of cyber security in audit is still the same thing. What we are saying is arbitrary give them the meaning of cyber security. So I think you now say after you give them you now say, however, cyber security play vital role in audit engagement as it helps to ensure confidentiality, integrity, as the case you want to put it, to ensure integrity and confidentiality in what? In financial data. That is, you have stylishly explained the role in accordance with what? In accordance with that definition you gave. Mr. Olatunji, are you following, sir?
Well, sir, thank you so much, sir.
So after that, you now go back to requirement B. They ask you that furthermore, the following are the way the audit team should respond to what? To data breach experienced by Tech Live Retail Limited. By that, you have stylishly made the answer what? To the given scenario, and which is what? Tech Live Retail Limited. One, you need to assess the risk of material misstatement on the data breach, and you also need to assess the impact of material impact of that data breach on the financial statement, and the like. You also need to review the control environment, the IT control environment, to ensure that the data breach does not have a significant impact on on their financial data. So these are the way the audit team can respond to the issue of data breach experienced by Tech Live Limited. Although we are still coming to the answer later, but I just want us to have a overview of the answer. So who can tell us, explain the importance of reviewing algorithms in business audit and identify concern with Tech Live pricing model? This is very, very simple. Who can help us out here? So if you check this thing stylishly, you will notice that they analyze 4 issues there. One is cyber security, one is algorithm pricing, the other one is robotic processing automated, and the last one is data processing compliance. So the second question now is on that algorithm pricing. Now they said, explain the importance of reviewing algorithms in business audit and identify concern with Tech Live pricing model. Okay, Madam Kemi, please, you have the floor. Madam Kemi, you have the floor, please. You raise up your hand. Okay. Aisha, please go on.
Okay, sir. So, according to Take Life Retail Limited, their algorithm is used to set dynamic pricing on its platform. There are inconsistencies in this algorithm, and so the importance of reviewing the algorithm is to build consistency. Another one is to work on accuracy. Then I would say to detect any biases that would give the algorithm a wrong output, and then to evaluate the control that the algorithm is working on. Yes.
You only have Aisha, you only answer one part. What of they now said again that if you need to identify the concern, what are the concern there? You need to identify the concern with Tech Live pricing model. The one what you said is important of reviewing it, but the concern that they mentioned in the question, you did not state it in your answer. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, Aisha.
Yes, I do. Okay, the concern is
Okay.
there is a lack of documented control framework in the algorithm. They'll,
Okay.
and this
That
led to inconsistencies in pricing during promotional periods.
okay. That's very, very impressive and elusive. That's good. But you cannot just stop like that till you or two that you mentioned, but that's very, very vital. Uh-huh. That's very, very sweet to hear. That I don't even know if I can make any comment, but that's very, very elusive. Thank you, Aisha. Okay,
Thank you,
let's hear from
teacher.
Mr. Olatunji. He has something to say to it.
Thank you, sir. From my own perspective, as regards importance of reviewing the algorithm in the business audit. Algorithm, it can affect the financial statement assertion in such a way that
Mm-hmm.
perform key tasks such as maybe revenue recognition, inventory valuation, and co. And if an algorithm should have any deficiency at all, it can cause a result in a material misstatement in something like those of assertion, like accuracy, completeness, valuation, and classification. And moreover, for me, we cannot, if we are talking about what we can identify as regards the concern of definite life in pricing under this place, I can say maybe as a result of the deficiency we saw there, the documentation that was not properly there can have a side effect in terms of the what do I call it? The review of the algorithm in business audit.
Yes, during promotional period. Yes, that's
Yes, sir.
fair too. Thank you, Mr. Olatunji. Thank you. So that is that about that question 1B. So we'll see the solution and like the way I see the way they structure these parties, the four issues they identify, they want us to talk something about it. So now let's go to 1C. They said discuss how robotic processing automation (RPA) can affect audit procedure. What is audit procedure? Can affect audit procedure and identify what issue the auditor should raise regarding the tech life RPA usage. Who can help us out there? Mr. Latunji, please, you have the floor, sir. Mr. Latunji, you have the floor, sir. You raise up your hand. Who can help us in this aspect? Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you,
Nobody's
sir.
saying anything now.
We're analyzing the question,
Okay, I
sir.
can give it a try, but not
We're
100%.
analyzing the question, sir.
As well I finish in the car, as well I finish,
Lie, sir.
let's try. Oh yeah, let's try. Aisha, you said you want to give it a try. Yeah.
Sorry, I think I'll change my mind. It's not looking easy.
Hey.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, so yeah, Mr. Latuji.
I think robotic process automation can affect audit procedure, because normally we know that the robotic process automation increasingly is used to perform repetitive business tasks, such as data entry and reconciliation. So in such
Yes.
case, we can say that it will affect it directly by influencing the financial reporting and the internal control, because it has a significant impact on how audit plan and performance audits does the process. Number one, like for example, we can say, okay, it may change the auditor's understanding of the process.
Okay.
It might also have an impact on the internal control of that particular organization.
All right. So thank you, Mr. Latuji. So what I understand from this question is what they are telling us here is that they say we should describe how robotic processing automation can affect the procedure. So I think this RPA it helped the audit procedure to by automating repetitive tasks, like Mr. Latuji said. It helps to reduce human error, yes, and it helps to improve efficiency and effectiveness of uh, uh, of work in a particular organization. That is how RPA can affect the the audit procedure. So it helps to streamline the audit work by automating what repetitive work. You can automate repetitive work, like that is what you need to do. You don't need to start all over it again. So it's like it's going to be like change over from there. So like one of the audit software we are using now. So where you need to work is the first year of audit. You input all this trial balance and everything. By the time you just export your trial balance like this, then you map for that first year. The second year, when you want to do the audit for that same company, just extract trial balance. Once you import trial balance, the system will automatically map the each section to where it's supposed to be if you map correctly the first year. So this robotic processing automation help in automation of repetitive work, and also help to reduce human error, because by the time you just input the balance, the system is going to do it by itself. So it helps to reduce human error and also help the work to fast and improve efficiency of work. That is how RPA can affect the audit procedure. But however, the issue they analyze in the question is that they said this RPA that they are using for revenue posting and something like that have issue. At some point they said it has issue. So let's see here. They said RPA has deployed both for bank reconciliation and revenue posting. But however, change log and exception reporting for both were not adequately maintained. That is the issue they have there. So they now said, how should the audit and said identify what issue the auditor should raise regarding the tech life RPA usage. I hope you understand the way I just explained the first part. I hope we understand. Do we understand what I said?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so now then you now proceed by saying that after you have given them the importance of that RPA, then however the risk associated with those things, there may be logs of track to perform. You know, they said that in the scenario that sometimes they used to, once the log, they cannot be accounted for the logs again. So those are among issues. Then inability to replicate pricing logic. It was stated in this thing. So they couldn't replicate pricing logic during promotional period. So those are the risks associated. But however, in the case of this, they said, should the auditor now raise this issue regarding the tech life RPA usage? So in my own thing, according to this, since they know that all these things, that's what they are using for bank reconciliation and revenue posting. So I believe that the auditor should try to advise the company to implement this both monitoring control to help them monitor and track every transaction posting as regards to bank reconciliation and revenue posting. So they should advise the organization to implement the automation posting for the boats, so that it will help them to reduce the risk of any financial data in the organization. And however, it also help them to do proper bank reconciliation and revenue posting. That's what I believe that they could do here. So, but when we see the answer, we will know better on how we're expected to right in this regard. Like I said, it is a suggested solution. So our ability to think wide and understand the scenario can also pave way for us to write better. Everybody, can we proceed, please? I hope that one is taken.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
so lastly,
Yes, sir.
they said what audit procedures should be carried out to assess tech life compliance with data processing regulations such as NDPR. That is, what procedures should auditor put in place to make sure that these people they are in compliance with data processing regulation? What are the procedures? Mr. Olatunji, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, sir. The audit procedure for that could put in place for assessing compliance with the data protection regulation will be
Yes.
number one, we have to understand the regulatory environment. You have to
Okay.
identify all data protection laws and so then maybe we
Okay.
can also review the data protection policies and the governance. Then
No,
we can.
you are saying it generally, but you know that you need to be specific to this tech life.
Okay, as regards the
You
NDPR.
you must be able to link it to this tech life. That is, they need to request for their data protection and policy procedure. But you only said that you did not link it to tech life. That's why I'm trying to call your attention to it. Because what you are giving is general this thing. So first of all, they need to review their data protection policy and procedure. Right? Oh yeah, please go on. I just need to call your attention to that so that you will not. That first one is okay.
Okay, so I think we can also evaluate the legal basis for that data processing of the data protection of tech life.
Do you mean data storage? Do you mean the data storage? You mean that
yes.
they need to evaluate their data storage?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fair.
Maybe we can also what else? Evaluate the third-party data process control.
Okay.
The third-party data process. Yes, sir. As regards the tech life company, sir.
Okay. Then again, do you? I don't know if you have you ever noticed that maybe when you are doing something online, they will ask you that do you confirm? Do you confirm or do you attest to it that okay maybe all information that you put in is okay, like they see for your content that
yes.
I don't think you have so you also need to confirm that if after everything maybe they seek customer consent, whether okay maybe to validate their transaction, that do you agree that this thing or do you agree that all this information you inputted is correct, just to make sure that they are in compliance with data protection regulation. So you also need to do that to find out if there is something like that in the case of customer filling their data on the website. That's about that. So let's hear from Mr. Paul. Mr. Paul, you have the floor, please.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Paul, good evening.
Once again. So, yes, sir. So, based on the question, if I'm to relate it to Tech Life, Retail Life Limited, one of the issues that was brought to the attention within this passage was the issue of security breach. So I believe what Tech Life should be looking at now is doing a comprehensive evaluation of their security measures. That's a security measure assessment of their how they process and store data, and to ensure that controls are put in place to avoid future breaches. Then the second I identified in respect of Tech Retail Life is that their staff, for this breach to have occurred, I think it also has to do with the training of their staff. So they need to enlighten their staff so as to be able to take preemptive measures or precautionary measures against such things happening again. This not only applies to the security, but also applies to the documentation framework they need to be enlightened on how documentation processes should be done within the company.
Okay.
I think those are the two I have for now, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I understand what you are saying, but the response you provided now is not in compliance with, or is not in accordance with what this question is talking about. They said, what procedure should the audit firm carry that to assess? You know, everything, all these requirements, it is on the 4 issues they said they encountered during the audit. You remember they talk about the first one, cyber security. Question A is on cyber security. 2 is on algorithm pricing. B talk about it. C talk about the RPA, which is robotic processing automation. They ask question on the C. Then D, they said something about data protection. Yes. Yeah. Let's see. They said the auditor noted that TechLife collects and store customer data, but has no documented data protection policy in line with data protection regulation of Nigeria. The question did not ask us that what procedure would the auditor use? Should the auditor use to carry out access? To carry out access, TechLife compliance with data protection regulation. That is, how can the auditor, what audit procedure will the auditor use to find or to assess TechLife compliance with data protection regulation? The audit, they are telling you that you should try and see how you can set a procedure that you use to determine whether TechLife are in compliance with data protection or not. So the step that the auditor can use to determine whether these TechLife are in compliance with data protection or not, that is what they ask us to state here. Mr. Paul, I hope you understand the concept of the question now.
Yes, I do. I'm getting the idea now. They are focusing on the audit procedures to be used, not necessarily what measures of the NPDR.
Yes. So I thank you for that understanding. So if you understand, that's why I said our understanding is very, very important. If you understand what the question is actually saying, you'll be able to write something. So let's check the solution and see so that we can. It is. I did not even plan to stay up to this time in the class. So let us go for question number 1, where they ask us that what is the role of cybersecurity in audit engagement, and how should the audit team respond to data breach experienced by TechLife Retail Limited? Like I said, I said the most important thing is to give them the meaning of cybersecurity, which I have done that before, and I know by now everybody must have that know 1 or 2 things to say about the meaning of cybersecurity. But however, so let's go. After definition, you now continue by saying cybersecurity play vital role in audit engagement, and it ensure what? Integrity, confidentiality, and availability of what? Of financial data. So you now continue that, however, the audit team should do the following. 1, review TechLife IT control environment. We said that. 2, we should evaluate whether incident response and data recovery procedure were adequate. 3, we should assess the risk of material misstatement resulting from the breach. We said that during our recommendation. I think I said that also. 4, recommend setting access control, user authentication, and encryption protocols. Then lastly, we should consider reporting a key audit matter if this has material impact. So these are the how auditing should respond in the case of cyber security for the audit engagement. That one is clear for that requirement 1. Can we proceed, please, everybody?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's check for question number 2. They said we should explain the importance of reviewing algorithms in business audit and identify concern with tech life pricing model. I think I shall also help here. So how should we respond? They said by reviewing the algorithm is very, very essential to ensure transparency, accuracy, and consistency in automated decision making. Now, for Tech Life Limited, for Tech Life Retail, the lack of documented control framework raises the following concern. One, potential for error or manipulation of price during sales events, that is during promotional period. Two, inability to audit or replicate the pricing logic is also the concern. Three, lack of audit trail and accountability in the event of compliance of revenue discrepancies. And lastly, the auditor should recommend proper what documentation, testing, and control monitor of pricing algorithms. That is how the audit team should respond to the what to the issue concern raised above. Can we proceed, please, everybody?
I have a question.
If you have a question, you raise up your hand, man. That is ideal thing to do. Anyway, please go on.
I'm sorry about that, sir.
No problem,
Please,
no problem.
sorry for taking you back. Can you explain this algorithms very well, please?
It is in the question. Like me, I don't even know the meaning of algorithm, but it is in the question. Check this scenario. The scenario pointed us to that algorithm. It's very. I told you also that it is. See what they talk about algorithm now. They said they use the algorithm in pricing documentation. They use it to they use it to put price on some of their products. They now said the issue they now find out there is that during the promotional period, this algorithm pricing system used to what be misbehaved. That is, there is always inconsistency in the pricing during what promotional period. So what they are telling us here is that this algorithm review, they are using it for pricing documentation in the organization. So there's nothing there to explain. It's just that it is the tone of the scenario. That is what you are going to follow. I hope you have answered your question, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. So let us go. The question number 3. RPA, that is robotic processing automated. What is the question? What was the question again? Let us see. They said discuss how robotic processing automation can affect the audit procedure and identify what issue the auditor should raise regarding tech life RPA usage. So what they are telling us that this RPA, that is robotic processing automated, that how can the auditor streamline it? That is, RPA can streamline audit procedure. Do anyone have questions? Okay, that RPA can streamline audit procedure by automating what repetitive tasks, reducing human error, and improving what audit efficiency. I think I was the one that said this that time. Nobody could say something about it. But however, the risk arises if there is no oversight or log to track what both performance. Don't forget that under this ISC, they said they use this RPA for bank reconciliation and which other one for bank reconciliation and revenue posting. Yes. So he said there is no oversight or logs to track both performance. 2, exceptions are not reported or corrected. 3, unauthorized changes will go undetected. That is the risk that is the risk that can arise from this using of RPA, that is robotic processing automation in the organization. But however, what should the auditor do? He now said Tech life case, the audit team should advise by implementing both monitoring control, I said it before, exception report, and regular validation to ensure accuracy and reliability of financial data processed by both. You remember they said that according to the scenario, they are using this both for bank reconciliation and what? And revenue posting. So that is what the audit team should do while advising the what, or while providing solution to issue a contract by Tech Life in this scenario above. Can we proceed, please? Esther, can you please mute your mic, please? All right. So let's check the last this thing there and see what we have. What's the solution? The question said, what procedure should be carried out to assess Tech Life compliance with data protection regulations such as NP? I said I said I'm in class. I will call you when I'm done. So sorry about that. So what audit procedures should be carried out to assess Tech Life compliance with data protection regulations such as NDPR? So what they are telling us here is that what procedure should the audit team use to assess whether the Tech Life are in compliance with data protection or not? What procedure? That is what the reason. That is what I will explain to Mr. Paul, because what he said is not in compliance with the requirement yet. But however, I know he has the idea. It's just that it's not just understanding the concept of the question. So the question here is, even not only the scenario that you need to reinterpret to understand. At some point, some questions will also now go straight forward. You also need to reinterpret some questions so that you understand what the question is actually asking. But yeah, they are asking us that what procedure should the audit team, which is upper and associate, the audit team, what procedure can they use to know whether Tech Life is in compliance with data protection or not? This is the question. Mr. Paul and everybody, I hope we understand what the question is now telling us. So let's check the solution. Okay, so let's go. They said the audit team should carry out the below audit procedure. 1. Request for Tech Life data protection policy and procedure. I think Mr. Olatunji helped us out in that to the guy that I can't remember. It's not hard though. It depends on your understanding on it. It's not hard actually. It's not hard. That's why I said this part of this IT and co and this thing, we really need to read it very well. That especially that chapter 16. So I recommend you use the study pack because the summarized notes might not capture some other things there, like all this data protection, this thing. So just try and read the study pack for especially that chapter 16 to understand it very well. So let us go through. Verify if customer consent is obtained and documented. Just like when I asked Mr. Lapsi that and have you ever tried to do something online where they will tell you that did you confirm that this thing is this application or this information you input is correct? So that is another way to verify. That's another way to verify whether the company is in compliance with data protection. 3. Evaluate data storage and access control measure. You should also need to evaluate the data storage, capacity, the capacity of their data storage. That is the capacity of their how they store data information of their customer. We also need to assess it and assess the control measure. Then D, to access the company response data subject to access request. That is, if there is access request in the organization for in case of customer request, how can the company quickly respond to that data subject access request? Then lastly, you need to review compliance by training the staff. Someone said they should train the staff. Mr. Port said they should train the staff. They review compliance training for staff handling personal data. Failure to comply could result in regulatory penalty and reputational damage, which may need to be not to be what, which may need to be disclosed, which may need to be disclosed in the financial statement. So that is that about this question on e-commerce. I think this one is on e-commerce generally. Okay, Suliya, please, you have the floor.
Thank you. So, regarding my question, is that the first one, for the first question, we define cybersecurity. Do we also need to define like what for the second question, algorithm, for the third question, RPA bot?
No. You don't need to.
Okay.
You don't need to. It's just that cyber security in audit is something that is common that we need to know. So we assume that. So you can see that when Mrs. Sadolo or Mr. Sadolo asked us that what's the meaning, as she explained the meaning of that algorithm, this thing, I said, Mr. I don't know, but the tune of the question will give us the meaning. That and the question says that they are using it for what? For pricing in that particular organization. So it is the tune of the question that is other organizations can be using it for another thing, but this particular tech life, they are using it for what? For pricing of their product. And they said this normally have issue during what? Promotional period. Do you now understand the concept that so you don't need to give the meaning about those things? But because that cyber security in audit is common, that we are just assuming that the examiner did not have any clue about that cyber security in audit. That is why I said it is important to give them the meaning.
Okay, thank you. Then also, please, secondly, related. Second question is unrelated. Please, for tomorrow's revision class, is it also going to be like a restricted one or the normal one that people can join?
Yes, it's going to be the normal one that people can join. This one is just because of to meet up with our targets for this revision class. That is why I set this one up. You know, I've already explained this thing. Because at first I said I'm not going to put it in the general this thing, that I'm just going to put it in on YouTube. But I just thought of it again that let me just do what I have to do, you know. It's not, money is not everything actually. So we just have to help each other, and we don't know when we are going to meet. Because I actually said that I'm not going to put it on the general vision. So I just thought of it again. Just say, let just for this time, and everybody will just get out. We will not see each other after this thing again. That will pass. So that is just it. But tomorrow class is the final class. Is going to be for the general.
Oh, good. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, so everybody, this is where we are going to stop. Okay, Mr. Alex. Mr. Alex, you have the floor, sir. Mr. Alex.
Thank you, sir.
My Oga.
Good evening, sir. Your boy is loyal, sir.
No. My doctor, sir.
Good evening, sir. Sorry, sir. The issue with that algorithm is what I'm just trying to clarify. The algorithm, basically, I don't think it's just meant for pricing. It's just a model.
Yes.
In context of the scenario.
Yes, to the context of the scenario is they are using it for. Can you hear me, sir?
Pricing.
Yes, well, the company is using it. The company is using it for pricing, but however, I said that another company might be using it for they might be using it for another thing. But in the case of this scenario, they are using it for pricing. So please just tell us general usage of that algorithm, because I don't think I also have idea too much about it.
Sorry, I try to check other way around. That is what I just want to clarify now.
I said
just
okay.
The algorithm in auditing. I searched for that question. In auditing, it's a modern business auditing, transforming how auditor collects, analyze, and interpret financial information. How to gather, auditor gather information, analyze it, and interpret financial information. That is the main, that is what the main
financial data information.
You know, the collection, analysis, and the interpretation. That is all acronym is all about. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So that is the information
Thank you
I
for
just
that.
want to pass across.
Yes, thank you for that contribution, Mr. Alex. That's my doctor, sir. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate. So, everybody, this is where we are going to stop for today. So, I'm going to send the YouTube link after the class for in the general revision class to have access. But it might not be today, it might be maybe after because I actually need to rest. I'm really tired. So I just want to play and rest. So we'll see tomorrow by 9.
Okay,
so
9 tomorrow.
Because yes, 9 a.m. We wanted to start 8:30, but people that is doing SFM, they're having their class from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. So we start from 9 to 12. We don't have much to do again. We have done literally everything we need to do. So everything is just to commit our ways in the hand of Allah and pray for mercy from the examiner so that we just pass our exam and go. I'm sure everybody here, you are owing me bottle of beer. But no, I don't drink beer. Bottle of wine after the result comes out.
Beer, we'll give you beer.
Inshallah.
Oh
I
God.
don't drink beer. Before company say they'll give me canana. Like one person said they'll give me canana.
We'll give you any Kenny.
You
Sir, there's one
deserve it.
registered bottle in your name.
You deserve it, sir.
Excuse me,
sir.
Thank you for
I wish everybody best of luck.
You deserve
timing.
it, sir.
We'll see tomorrow.
God
Good night.
Mr.
Amen.
Idris.
Thank you, sir.
Ma?
I wanted to say that there's actually 2 classes for SFM for tomorrow because Mr. Timmy said it's coming 7 to 9 and Olashile said it's coming 9:30.
No, we have arranged it in our the tutors group. So that other one, that second SFM will start immediately after the audit class. It's going to start from 12 to 4, around 4, something like that.
Okay, because we've not been notified. That's why I had to say it.
Yeah, it will tell you. So we have rearranged it. All right, so see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your weekend, please.
You too. Thank you.
Good night.